This is what you've all been waiting for. This is man, Miles Morales. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Holy Trilogy is now complete, for now. And just so you know, I had to engage in a bidding war on eBay with some loser to get my hands on this. Before we get into it, do keep in mind that this game takes place in between Man 1 and Man 2. I was under the impression Man 2 was our first look at Miles, but it turns out there's a whole game dedicated to him.
Another beautiful day in the Marvel's Man universe. I mean, when has man ever looked this good? But enough wasting time, I think it's time to uncover the man inside all of us. We begin playing the game as Franklin Clinton. It turns out Franklin moved to New York City to pursue a new life. One without crime, one without always having to look over his shoulder. However, he quickly learns the hard way that you can't escape your past. Not that easily, at least. He needed a new identity, a new face. Franklin calls up Ganke, a local professional in forging counterfeit identities, and so Miles Morales was born. He could finally enjoy the perks of living a brand new and fulfilling life. After exploring some abandoned buildings and admiring the beautiful Manhattan skyline, he stumbles upon something even more beautiful, a huge stash of cash. He takes just enough to afford the costs of living a new life. So yeah, pretty much all of the cash. Miles is on top of the world, things have never been better. With the cash stashed where the sun don't shine, he makes his way back home. But then he's attacked by a group of thugs, who steal every last dollar from him. If only there was a superhero who could come and save him. Battered and bruised, Miles calls up the only person he knows for help, Ganke. Miles wakes up the next morning significantly healed. Ganke stayed the night with him. It's clear Miles isn't ready to be independent in this city yet, so Ganke went ahead and hired a mum for him. Her name is Rio. However, Ganke still feels bad for Miles, so he decides to take him to the local food truck festival in an attempt to get him to mingle with some people. He speaks to a security guard and a few other employees, but then he hits it off really well with a girl, Haley, who seems to be spray painting herself onto the wall. I mean, bit pretentious, who the fuck spray paints a portrait of themselves onto a wall, but each to their own? The next day, Rio sends Miles to pick up some groceries. He arrives at the grocery store, but just as he's about to walk in, he receives a text message. It's from Haley, so Miles makes a run for it. When he arrives, she leads him up to a rooftop, and in a shocking reveal, she also got a new identity from Ganke. She now goes by Finn. It turns out she was also from Los Santos. Even though she wasn't involved in a life of crime, she was widely known for spray painting offensive symbols and artwork onto buildings. But she's reformed now. Even better, it turns out she also enjoys exploring abandoned buildings. Here they are exploring Fisk Tower, the infamous tower where Walter White and Wilson Fisk met their demise, and Peter Parker lost his job. After saying their goodbyes for the day, Miles heads back to the grocery store, but forgets the groceries. What a dumbass. That very night, Finn comes over for dinner to meet the family. The family being Miles, who's actually Franklin Clinton, Rio, the mother for hire, Ganke, the identity theft professional, and Goku, the guy from Dragon Ball Z. And the game ends with them eating dinner as one big happy family. Except there isn't any food because Miles forgot the fucking groceries. It's nice to have a happy ending for a change, but now unfortunately that means we'll have to wait a few years for our next Marvel's Man game, which is a real shame. Especially considering this one was a much shorter entry compared to the others. But until then, I still got a few more games up my sleeve that need playing.